Hello, beautiful. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tracy. Today is Thursday and I'm off work until Tuesday. I'm so grateful to have these 5 days off in a row. I had a really late start to the day. I didn't even get out of the bed till after 10 o'clock. And I just really took my time today. So every night I lay my clothes out here. So these are my clothes that I was supposed to wear today. But when I woke up, came in here and I was like, no, I'm not leaving the house today. I'm not going anywhere today. So I just still left them there because I'm going to wear them tomorrow. But anyway, I just put on some really comfortable clothes. And when I'm in the house all day, I do a really minimal makeup look, which is just brows, mascara, and I usually have on a lipstick that's the color of my skin tone, but I've eaten it off already. I did have it on earlier, but I just had lunch. So anyway, I put together my coffee table, you guys. It is so cute. It's exactly what I wanted. I put it together myself though, so I'm thinking that I need to have someone come look at it and put it together for me. I still have the other coffee table still sitting here in the living room, so I'm gonna have my friend Scott is going to come and take it to work for me. My coworker is going to give it to her pastor. So I have two coffee tables here in the living room. For just a moment, I need to call Scott today and find out when he can come move it for me. But anyway, I'm so happy that I got this little coffee table. I got it off Amazon. It's really inexpensive, but it's exactly what I wanted and it's just what I could pay for right now. So I went ahead and got it and I'm so glad I did. I want to keep it at very minimal. I'm going to put some flowers in the vase when I go to the grocery store tomorrow, and I want to put a candle up here, but honestly that's probably going to be it. I don't want like a lot of stuff up here at all. Just like on my little side table, I usually just have two things over there, a vase and a picture. But right now I got a couple of library books sitting over there, but like that's just there right now because it's my reading corner. But yeah, I just want to keep both of the tables really minimal, and my living room is coming together so well, you guys. So earlier this year I put together a living room refresh. I wrote out on one side of the page what I want my living room to look like, what I want it to feel like when I walk in, when other people walk in, what the things that I want to do in my living room, and all that kind of stuff. And then on the next page, I just kind of wrote out different areas like lamps, tables, bookcases, plants, wall art, pictures of my nieces and nephews, and I wrote a big list of things that I wanted to do. And you guys, I have been steadily checking things off my list. It's just so exciting to see what I wrote down actually coming to pass. It's so cool. So the next thing I really want to do is put a shelf in the corner for my plants, and I also then want to get a rug. Once I get a rug in here, I think that's like all the pieces I would need kind of like for this part of the living room. And then the next phase is to go through and do all my wall art, which I'm so excited. So the theme of the living room is pink, black and white with gold accents. So far I think it's coming together so well, and I love it. So that is all that I had going on today, which is Thursday. And yeah, I'm actually I finished eating lunch just a little while ago and had a FaceTime phone call with my cousin. So I am going to really chill and rest for the rest of the day. I'm not going to do anything except like make dinner, then clean the kitchen tonight, make my grocery list. But right now, it's like 3 o'clock. And honestly, you guys, I'm not doing anything till probably like 6:30 or 7. So I'm going to chill. Right now, you guys, I'm reading such a good book. Oh, this book is so good that I'm reading. It's The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Y'all, I feel like this book got a little twist to it. I definitely haven't made it to the little twist part yet, but guys, this book is so good. Oh, and another thing, I really love reading, but I haven't been enjoying it lately, and I haven't finished a book in a while. So finally the other day, I take my happy little self over to Target and got me some cheaters like my eye doctor told me to do earlier this year. Like months ago, he told me to get some cheaters. Did I do it? But this book, Evelyn Hugo, was so good. I was like, wait, I feel like I'm missing words because I can't see. So I went to Target and got me some cheaters. I came back to this house. I was like, holy hell, this book is even better now that I can see the words. So anyway, tomorrow when I go out to the grocery store, I need to run by Target and get another pair of cheaters, you guys, because my crazy self sat on them and broke them. I broke my cheaters, and so I'm gonna have to kind of just have them hanging on my face today because I really want to read a couple more pages of this book, but I cannot believe I did that. So anyway, I don't have much going on today. That's all I have going on. It's going to be a nice, long, restful reading weekend. If you like boring videos, this is the one for you. If you like a lot of stuff going on, this ain't even a channel for you. show you the 5 books that I have right now in my home that I plan on reading over the next couple of weeks, and I'm going to give them to you in the order in which that I received them. So this one is Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. Enchanted is an inspiring R&B singer. She's in high school. Her family has moved to the suburbs, so she's one of very few black people in her high school. And she goes to an audition that is like an American Idol audition put on by BET. And there is a famous R&B singer who happens to see her audition, and he kind of goes backstage and starts talking to her. And in the synopsis, he ends up dead. This book has several trigger warnings in it, and honestly, they're very much needed, even though I'm only on about a page 55. The reason I put this book down is because it started making me feel uncomfortable. It has some R. Kelly vibes in here, and the R&B singer that sees her, he ends up dead. That's in the synopsis, so he ends up dead. And the police have questions, and she even has questions because she truly doesn't remember what happened. But it doesn't look like Corey Fields is a very good person, so I definitely want to finish this book, but I'm going to take as many breaks as I need to while I read it. This is Felix Ever After by Casey Calendar. I am enjoying this book so much. I'm on about a page 55 in this book too. And I did put this book down only because I picked up the next book that I'm going to show you, and I just kind of started reading it. This book I'm really interested in finish reading. Felix is queer, black, and transgender. And this is the first time I've ever heard the term dead name, so I was really happy just to pick this book up just to learn that term. To my knowledge, I don't have any transgender people in my circle, so I was really happy to read that part because I don't know much about the transgender community. This happens to be a YA book. Felix is in high school, and what happens is someone finds out his dead name, as well as post a bunch of pictures of him at the school before he transitioned, and it just really tears him up. So he is on a mission to find out who did it, as well as he's never been in love, even though his last name is Love. And so he's really trying to find someone to fall in love with, as well as find out who did this thing to him. So this book has been good so far. The next book is the one I've already been talking to you guys about, which is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Evelyn Hugo this is a fictional book. This is by Taylor Jenkins Reid. It appears that she wrote Daisy Jones and the Six, which I haven't read, but it's definitely on my TBR. Now that I've read this one, I want to read more about this author. So Evelyn Hugo is a film star from the 50s until she retires in the 80s, and she's had 7 husbands during the course of that time. She has decided to tell her life story to one person. The person's name is Monique Grant. Monique works at this magazine, and Evelyn Hugo says she would only do the interview for the magazine with Monique, but that isn't actually what Evelyn wants. She wants to tell her life story, and she wants Monique to do it, but no one can figure out why she chose Monique, and I believe it has something to do with Monique. So good. And this book, unlike the other two that I just talked about, I've not really been able to put down. I don't really want to read another book until I finish this one. The next book I picked up was on my TBR. The moment that I found out this book, even before it came out, I was so excited. Cozy Mysteries are my absolute favorite books to read, and this is the first in the series. This is by Arsenic and a Double by Manansala, I believe is how her name's pronounced. This is a Mexican author. I will double check that, and if I'm wrong, I will put something up on the screen here or in the description box below. But this is about a young girl, a girl who comes back to town after she had a really bad breakup. She needs to help her Tia save the family restaurant, but the food critic ends up dying shortly after he had a confrontation with the main character, and the food critic happens to be her ex-boyfriend that she just had to break up with. So everyone is looking at her as the one who did the murder, so she has to figure out a way to help her aunt save her restaurant, as well as figure out who murdered her ex-boyfriend. I haven't seen this book get great reviews. I've seen all the reviews be 3 stars or less. That doesn't sway me at all, I still want to read this book. So I'm very excited to have it. The next book is Rainbow Milk by Paul Mendez. So I picked this book up for one reason only. As far as I can tell, okay, so this is a fiction book, but I'm going to read just the first little lines here. Not the whole synopsis, but just look at my little glasses. I can read, I can see words. An essential and revelatory coming-of-age narrative from a thrilling new voice. Rainbow Milk follows 19-year-old Jesse McCarthy as he grapples with his racial and sexual identities against the backdrop of his Jehovah's Witness upbringing. So some of you know that I was raised as one of Jehovah's Witness and spent my entire life as a Jehovah's Witness. I don't remember exactly how many years ago I stopped going to the Kingdom Hall, but it wasn't until 2019 that I disassociated myself, which means I wrote a letter to the Jehovah's Witnesses saying, hey, pretend like I never was a Jehovah's Witness. And it is the most isolating and difficult thing that I've ever done. And whenever I can read or watch a YouTube video or have a conversation with someone else that used to be a Jehovah's Witness, I always do. Me not being a Jehovah's Witness, to my knowledge, my mother may say different, so I'm not going to speak for her, but I believe me not being a Jehovah's Witness anymore is the only reason that she and I don't have a relationship. I've lived here in Nashville for over 5 years. She's never once come to visit me. We don't speak often. It has to be an emergency for her to contact me. And on my end, I choose not to contact her, even if it's an emergency for me. So it is very repressive and just wrong. It's just so effing wrong. It's just wrong. So I'm definitely interested to read this book and see what all happens and how it comes out and see how he deals with things. Because myself, I just went to therapy. All right, guys. So those are the 5 books that I have that I'll be reading over the next few weeks. Let me know in the description box below, not in the description box, in the comment section below what you're reading, and if you're interested in reading anything that I'm reading. Okay, I'm gonna eat some lunch. I'm so hungry, y'all. I have only had a chai tea latte smoothie all day, and it's after 4 o'clock. I'm finna eat. Happy Sunday. I am still resting. I took the entire day off yesterday and just rested. I moved from the bed to the couch about 11 yesterday morning. And I've been here ever since. And yeah, I'm still here. I do have coffee this morning. It's not even 7 o'clock. How cute is this mug? This is turned into my favorite mug. My friend gave this to me for my birthday this year. And so I am going to, it's about 6:30. So I think I'm going to just sit here and read until about 8 o'clock. I am on the 4th husband of Evelyn Hugo, and I'm on page 205, you guys. And she just said that she's 25 years old, and this is the 4th husband. I had to pause and make myself some coffee. I was like, I wasn't ready for her to say that. I couldn't keep up with her age, and they were not saying what her age is, but Still, I was like, holy cow, I can't believe she's just 25. This girl done been through some stuff. And what's interesting is that even though she's had four husbands, none of them have been the love of her life. Because that's the first thing that the writer Monique asked her was a particular husband that she had, was he the love of her life? And so she was like, I loved him, but he wasn't the love of my life. So anyway, this book is so good. So like I said, I'm gonna spend a couple hours reading. I'm gonna make myself presentable so that I can see you guys. But anyway, happy Sunday. Good morning, happy Monday. I got up this morning and did all of my regular stuff, but I also added in a 15-minute yoga session, and I went outside and walked for 15 minutes. So one of the things that I had planned for this month is to definitely get back outside and start walking, exercising again. I was exercising, but one day I was going up a hill and there was like a little pop, it didn't feel great. And so I thought, no, I'm not ready to be out here walking up hills yet. So I gave myself, honestly, 2 whole months off from exercising at all. And I now feel like I want to get back out there and start exercising a little bit. So that's what I did. Honestly, it did feel so good. I have not been in the best mood. We have 57 days before we have to go back to the office. I said that to my cousin the other day about having 57 days. I can't remember what day it was that I said to her, we have this, amount of time before we go back to the office. And she was like, she was eating, we were on FaceTime. She was actually eating something. And so she pulled the spoon she was putting the spoon in her mouth. When I said, we have so and so many days before we go back to the office, she said, are you counting down the days when you have to come back to work? I was like, yes, I'm that upset. And she was like, you really not doing well. I was like, I'm trying to tell you that I'm really not doing well with this whole decision. So, like I told you guys in the last vlog, I am trying to definitely get myself to a place where I have certain routines in place. That way, when I do go back to the office, I am not just a depressed mess. As it is now, I legit cry every day when I think about it because I am so sad. So I think I lied to you guys a while ago. I was talking to you about the book Quiet. The book Quiet is about introverts in an extrovert world. And when I was telling you guys about the book, I was like, I don't know if I'm introvert or extrovert, and I don't really care. That doesn't matter to me. And it kind of doesn't. I guess I didn't totally lie. It doesn't necessarily matter to me if I'm an introvert or extrovert. It's just that I do have a really fun personality, and people have a hard time believing that I'm an introvert, especially when I hang out with people. So when I hang out with people, I genuinely have a good time. I am a fun person to be around. Like I said, I genuinely have a good time. However, I'm okay with not seeing that person again in a social setting for months or years and still be friends with them like we were the last time I saw them. I'm okay with being home for weeks and days on end. And I'll be honest with you, this was something I was always afraid of. Years ago, when I was like in my 20s, my brother suggested that I become like a medical transcription before everything was already on Like everything now is online. You can get all your medical records online anytime you want. My brother was like, you should become a medical transcriptionist. And he said, that way you can work from home. And I told him back then, I was like, I can't do that. He said, what do you mean? Why can't you do that? I said, because I have hermit tendencies. If I ever work from home, I'll never leave my house again. And he was like, what? And so when I tell people that, like, I just never want to leave the house, like, I'm very happy with being at home, they don't believe me because of my personality, because I'm fun and I'm really loud, you guys. Like, I'm so loud. The way I cackle when I laugh, I do it just like that in the restaurant. If we're in the restaurant, I don't have many ladylike tendencies about me. And so people don't believe that I prefer to always be alone and prefer to always be at home, which is a struggle because I really want, like, I date, I go out on dates, which is difficult because I've not met anyone lately that I'm like, nothing's long term. And it's a struggle because you have to go out to meet people. Like, I'm definitely not comfortable. I'm not necessarily comfortable always having to go out on a date, like outside in a restaurant that other people are around. And I've kind of always been like this. I prefer just to kind of keep everything calm and quiet and simple and not have to do too much, which is contrary to how my personality is. So it really does throw people when I say that. But I've always known I had these reclusive tendencies, so I've always intentionally made sure that I didn't stay isolated for too long because I'm very comfortable being isolated. So fast forward 20 years later to the year of 2020, and I was forced to be isolated and don't have a problem with it. Love it. Knew that I always would love it. Knew this was something about myself for years and years. And now that I've experienced it, I was right when I told my brother that I can't stay at home because I would never want to leave the house. Listen, was it Friday? I got my groceries in the mail. I got my groceries delivered through Amazon, and my lettuce was all jacked up, and I'm irritated now that I have to go back to the store and get more lettuce because I've already been outside once this month. I've already gone outside this month. I gotta go outside again. So today, actually, I'm going to meet a friend, hang out for just a little while. I haven't seen him in about a month, I guess. And then I am going to hang out with my little cousin. She's in town, celebrating this weekend. She is going to be 21 in a couple of weeks. And so whenever I get a chance to see her, I always make sure I do. So she's in town. She's like, I got to see you before I leave. I like, that's right, you do. So I have to do that today. And putting on a little makeup and getting dressed every day does help me feel good. And also, I really don't mind it because I'm happy at home. I'm happy here and I want to show up for myself. So that's one of the reasons why I definitely get up and get dressed. And so somebody asked me in the comment section of my last video, do I get dressed every day? This is a weekday, so this is Monday, so yes, even if I didn't have to meet either one of them, I would have gotten up, got dressed this morning, and do like just brows, mascara, and lip. None of the other stuff. I would have put on, like today I put on SPF 30. I would have put on like my other moisturizer that has SPF in it, because even though I'm in the house, all of my windows are both of my windows are open, which I do every day. And so I always still wear sunscreen because of that. And so I knew this was going to be something that would always be a problem for me, wanting to stay at home, but I never thought that I would be this emotional about staying home because I've always had a job outside of the house. I never thought that I would be. Listen, I have been so depressed that I was like, maybe I should, maybe I should call my therapist. I haven't spoken to her in a really, really long time because honestly, I've been doing fine. I haven't felt the need to talk to her. I mean, last time I talked to her, she was like, why did you make this appointment? I was like, I don't know. I think I just got so used to seeing her that she was like, you're doing great. You know, she was pretty much like, implement the things that we've worked through. And if you need me, then you come. But she had gotten me to a place where I was doing great. I was feeling great. I've been happy for a long time. And, you know, not having the two jobs really did help. It really does help. But I am so anxious about having to go back into the office, and it has nothing to do with, you know, what's going on in the world. It has to do with, this is for me. Not being around people every day is for me. I'm just a better person. Listen, naturally I'm an asshole. I keep telling y'all that, but y'all be like, Tracy, you're so sweet. No. I have very strong asshole tendencies, and it could be because I was just around people. I'm so much more loving and kind now. I want to talk to people on the phone and be like, girl, how was your day? How is your life going? Next time I see you, I'm gonna hug you. I just don't think being outside and being around people every day is just for me. I just don't think it's my thing. So I have really just been having a super hard time with this whole thing, and I'll be honest with you guys, I just simply don't know what to do. No one can help me, so that's kind of one of the reasons I didn't talk to my therapist about it, because can't nobody help me unless somebody say, I got this job for you, Tracy. It makes X amount of dollars, and you can do it from home. You create your own schedule. We will give you a list of the deadlines you have to hit. Because here's the thing, I'm self-motivated and I work independently. You give me a deadline, I'm going to hit the target, if not before. I just don't want to have to do it in the office. Just don't want to have to do it in the office. So anyway, that's where I am with all of that. And one of my favorite things about the book Quiet was the story of Rosa Parks, which I had no idea of. And it talked about Rosa Parks was this introvert, and the story about her and the actual bus driver. Wow, I didn't know that. That was so interesting to me. Books are amazing. That's why I read as many as I can. So here's another fact about me. I'm just spilling all the tea today. This whole vlog, I've been spilling the tea. But being raised as a Jehovah's Witness by my mom, I don't know if all Jehovah's Witness parents are this way, but I was raised by myself with just me and my mom. And she allowed me to read secular books. By secular, I mean non-Jehovah's Witness books, if it was like for school. But like how I read now just for recreation, I've always been a reader, but she would get upset if I read something that was not Jehovah's Witness material. Even so much, even as an adult, like when I had my own place, she came over one day and I had a book that she didn't approve of. She made a big deal about it. And then one day she and I were out. We were waiting for something. So we were in the waiting room and I pulled out a book. I will never forget. It was the Kimberly Lawson Roby Curtis Black series. Put me a black heart in the comment section if you know about some Curtis Black by Kimberly Lawson Roby. Anyway, I was reading one of those books and she was like, what are you reading? And I told her, and she was just she just let me know how she disapproved of me reading anything that wasn't Jehovah's Witness material. And so I kind of stopped reading for many, many years because I just felt all this guilt for reading something that, you know, wasn't approved of by the society. And so Now that I'm not a Jehovah's Witness, I read like a psychopath because books are amazing. So anyway, I learned about a lot about Rosa Parks in that book. So definitely now I want to read a book that's truly dedicated to Rosa Parks. But anyway, the book Quiet is about introverts living in an extrovert world and kind of what introverts do to kind of just get by through the day. And it talks about how Rosa Parks was not who was an introvert, but Martin Luther King was an extrovert and he was an excellent speaker. And how she was happy for him to kind of take over, but how much energy and how hard it was for her to actually stand up to that bus driver and to the person on the bus. And the book is just really good, and I love the story about this. So even though I'm loud like Martin, I prefer to be kind of quiet in the corner like Rosa. So I don't even know myself, but you guys, I am just struggling. I'm struggling. I'm struggling. And I'm living my reclusive dream fantasy by working from home. Like, learning that my job could be done from home was probably the worst thing that anyone could have done. And also about my job, I talk about it all the time, but I honestly have just the best manager. One of her mottos is that you shouldn't, life's too short to be miserable at work. So I learned that from her, and now I know that it doesn't matter what job I have, I can be happy. I have definitely always been a person that changed jobs a lot, and when I found this job, I just thought, this is where I belong. All of the jobs I've had in the past led me here. This is where I'm supposed to be. I love my company. I love my team. I love what I do. And so to love everything about your job and then to be put at home where you love to be and to know that you can do this job just as well at home, it has really done something to my mindset, to my psyche. I'm just not the same, y'all. I'm just not the same. So working out this morning really did help me. I haven't dotted this door. Like, I haven't been outside of the door for 48 hours. And I'm okay with that. I feel great now that I've definitely done my exercise. I feel so good, and I've done my morning routine, but though I didn't show it to you guys. I did my morning routine. I have my coffee here. I'm getting dressed for the day. I'm going to unload the dishwasher before I leave and go meet my friend. And I have a really great day planned, but I could come back home and I get to read my book. I'm almost finished with Evelyn and Hugo. I think I have less than 100 pages to go. And I just need to be able to stay home forever and ever and ever. I just got to figure out how to order a husband like I order my groceries. So I've had these lipsticks, you guys, for several months now, and I have been wanting to show them to you. I really intended to do a whole sit down lip swatch video like I used to do back in the day. But honestly, I just can't do sit down videos right now. This is the most sit down that I could do, which is a vlog style. Like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think it's just, I had a birthday recently. I don't know. It's just a lot happening. But anyway, I just can't bring myself just to sit down because I've been wanting to do a book video again. But just kind of, I don't know, sitting down on the couch, just I don't know, talking about books, I can't do it. Like, putting it in this vlog, it was easy. I don't know what the deal is with me. I'm not trying to figure it out. It's just what's happening right now. Anyway, I'm going to swatch these on my arm, but this is the one I'm going to wear today. This is the one that I have been wearing religiously lately, and this is Dream It. This lipstick is so pretty, and this is a true lipstick. This is not a lip stain. This is not a liquid lipstick. It's going to wear off. You're going to eat it. It's very conditioning. I don't think they smell. They don't have a smell to it, which I actually like. This is a vegan and cruelty-free lipstick, and it's also a black-owned brand. So this is Proper Beauty, and so this one is Her Magic. I'm trying to see. I've never actually worn this one before, so let's swatch it. Get it out of the sun so you can see it. So it has like a little, it's brown, but it has like a little pinky undertone. It is not coming off exactly true to color. I will try to swatch them all and then put a picture of, there it is, that's a little bit better. So that's how it is. It's such a pretty color. So I definitely will be getting some wear out of that this fall. This one is Dynamite, and I actually have worn this one. And in one of my vlogs, I had this on, and somebody was like, your lipstick is so pretty when on this particular day. And this is the color that I was wearing, Dynamite, which is like a little bit of orangey. Has some pink undertones to it, but it's much more orange than pink, and it's just so pretty. And then we have Prime Time. Have I worn Prime Time? Yes, I've worn Prime Time before. This one I do like. It's a pretty rosy brown. It's coming out a little bit in this sun, more pink than it is. It has a little bit more brown to it, as you can see. You can't tell. I'm telling you, this light is showing it off more pink, so it's showing the pink undertones more than the brown that it is when I put it on my face. And then this one is Prowess, and I have worn this before. Let's see. So that's Prowess, which is a little bit more brown than the other one. So pretty. So these are the 5 colors that I picked up from Proper Beauty that I've been really meaning to show you guys, that I just haven't taken the time to sit down and do a video because life is happening to me. Okay guys, I'm dressed now. I'm ready to go. I have everything on with my shoes. My purse is all packed. I got snacks because everybody ain't on my time schedule. So I make sure I have snacks so I don't get hangry on folks out here in these streets. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me over this last few days. I told y'all at the beginning of this here video that this was going to be boring. So if you didn't make it this far, that's not on me, because I already done told y'all. But anyway, if you did make it this far, I appreciate you. You are a real one. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, beautiful.